Hello and welcome to Eye on Oakland. I'm Chuck Moss, your host, and we have a great guest here and somebody I've wanted to talk to for a while because this is there's some subjects that are important of international, maybe even planetary import. And I'm just going to say the Hunter House couldn't be greater. Kelly Cobb, who is the owner of the Hunter House, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for having me.
Glad I'm back. So, big news.
Big news.
What do we got?
After 73 years at the corner of Maple and Woodward, we moved down the street, and we're now located in Birmingham still, but at the kind of triangular intersection of Woodward, Adams, and Lincoln. So big transition. We left behind a building that has been a part of our family for a very long time, and a lot of the community's family as well.
Well, Hunter House, of course, is this term is overused, but iconic, and there's no doubt that it is. So Birmingham, unfortunately, is lost some iconic, or is losing some iconic institutions. I want to say maybe the community house, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Hunter House is safe. So you've moved down, and there were some issues with the ownership of the land or something.
Yeah, and it's a very long story, but the land has always been an issue for Hunter House, dating back to the 1960s.
1960s.
Yeah. So and how far into the weeds you want to go, we could go, but yeah. So back in the late 1960s, Birmingham wanted to build what was called Ring Road. It was a road that they wanted around the city.
Yes, which they did.
They did. And so as part of that process, they actually eminent domained part of Hunter House's back parking lot to build Park Street, which runs behind the Hunter House.
Right.
And from that point forward, the back parking lot of Hunter House was actually owned by the city of Birmingham.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. So
I was on the city commission. I had no idea that.
So
we owned the park. I could have had us give you a commissioner parking space.
And I would have for you, Chuck.
I'm sure. As long as I take the trash out, I can get it.
Right. Yeah. So there's always been that sort of issue. So Hunter House is this little 950 square foot white porcelain tile building that was just kind of locked on this tiny piece of property.
Yeah.
And so that's always been a problem for us. And then you fast forward, that was in late 1960s. And Hunter House would pay rent to the city and have a mutually beneficial relationship out of that back parking lot. But then 2005, my uncle forges my grandfather's signature on a quitclaim deed and turns the land over to himself, and then immediately signs a purchase agreement and sells the land out from Hunter House 20 years ago. And that started a very big problem, obviously, for our restaurant.
Right. So in other words, you owned the restaurant, but you didn't own the land underneath.
That's right. And we were guaranteed in the purchase agreement. The idea was to build a 5-story building on that site. They had acquired the land next door, that gravel lot at Woodward and Maple.
Right.
And the idea was to build a 5-story building on that site, a Hilton Hotel at the time, and put Hunter House in the ground floor and give us parking spots like we've always had, sort of wrapped around that building. You drive through it under the building.
Now, having Hunter House on the first floor means that you would have torn down Hunter House, built a 5-story building, and had a restaurant in there that said Hunter House on it.
Yeah, basically. We would have been in the building. We could have designed the building to be like a Hunter House facade in that corner and everything. But at the end of the day, the Hunter House that we all know, it was going to be demolished. It was set to be demolished anyway. Yeah.
So you've been since 2005. That's 20 years.
Yeah.
You guys have been on the bubble, not even owning the land you're on.
Yeah. So we own effectively, under that agreement, we owned like a condo space in a future building with certain guaranteed things. Immediately after that deal went through, and we fought it, and we're somewhat successful. But at the time, we sell $3 cheeseburgers. We can't go up against big developers like that, and we ended up kind of in limbo because the owner of the property, who was a developer at the time back in 2005, that idea of building a Hilton Hotel there collapsed. And then
what happened in 2008, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then there's no building there, and we're waiting. We're just in limbo. We offered during that time to try and buy the property back for a number of times, but the reality of real estate and land, as you'd understand, Chuck, is that those two properties combined are worth a lot more than each of them individually So
Sure.
they wouldn't ever sell us back our property, and we just didn't have enough money to buy that whole entire island.
So you're
there.
living basically on the bubble, or you're living in jeopardy the whole time.
Yeah.
You don't know essentially from month to month if you're going to be allowed to stay on your property.
That's right.
Not yours.
That's right. Yeah.
So in KFC building comes up.
Yes. So the KFC building comes up. So there was a lot that happened in between there. We went through litigation to try and preserve our rights and stay there in some form, or and ended up with a very favorable lawsuit. But during that whole time, we were also realizing, look, we're living out of a 950 square foot building. We only have 4 feet of grill space, and we can only produce so much food. The building was built to handle about 20% of the number of people who walk through that door every day. And we don't have...
What, 1940, 1950?
52. Yeah,
52.
1952.
Okay, full disclosure. I was born in 53, so, I mean...
You don't look like it,
Oh, bless you. Yeah. Flattery the host is not required, but it's always
You're a friend, Chuck. I get, yeah. So we had this old building that was basically falling down. I mean, it's really in bad shape. It's very, very old, and it was not built to handle the number of people who come through. We couldn't serve food fast enough. There was no parking on that site. All these problems are happening, and we realized about 5 years ago we need to find a better solution. We can't live in limbo legally. We can't live in limbo with our customers who don't have access to what they want. We need to find a better path forward. And that's where the KFC site, where we are currently located, came into play.
Right. Now you say currently located because you've already moved.
We already moved, yeah. So we set up shop there on November 1. We closed on October 31st at our current store.
Yes.
We set up shop on November 1 with our food truck, and we didn't want to miss a beat. We wanted the community to still be able to come in, and we didn't want to lose customers. We didn't want to lose employees. So we immediately went with our food truck on the site. We put a heated tent outside for customers to be able to come in. And then as of Tuesday, the food truck is great in the summer. It's not great in the winter. It's freezing cold in there. And actually the food doesn't cook that well because the grill's so cold.
Yeah.
So we moved inside on Tuesday. So now we're cooking inside the building, and we are serving outside the building so customers can come to that heated tent, at least on a temporary basis, while we remake Hunter House on that site.
So you moved in on November 1st. Who was there the first day? Who was there? Who was there?
Chuck was there on the first day.
Darn right I was.
He came in, he banged on the windows looking for me.
Yeah.
He wanted a burger,
I did. I mean, hey, look, do we not like do reach out to the community? And it's community outreach, without a doubt.
Yes.
So,
and we're grateful for it.
Thank you. Well, it wasn't free, nor should it be. All right, great. So you're now on the old KFC site, and that's really great. What are you going to? How are you going to turn the old 1970s? It looks like a Ponderosa Steakhouse because that was the era. And it's 50 years old.
It is.
I mean, come on, half a century.
Yeah.
What you going to do with it?
Well, we're going to rebuild Hunter House pretty much identically. So we have experience in that realm, which is helpful. We opened a store in a partnership with United Wholesale Mortgage in Pontiac, and UWM built a replica of Hunter House on their campus for their employees. And so we know where to find the materials that we need to rebuild it. We know what the design should look like. And we've tweaked it because unlike that store, we actually brought over a lot of stuff to put in the store. So it's going to be an exact recreation.
You brought the grill over.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The grill is not leaving our family at all. So the grill moved over on day one. But little details like the tiles at Hunter House are this sort of black and white basket weave kind of look.
Yeah.
We found the one company in America that still makes those exact tiles. So we're very focused on the attention to detail. We're very focused on making sure that when customers walk in the door, they're going to feel the same space, they're going to have the same experience, and the only thing really different is going to be the view of Woodward out the front window.
Yes, well, you walk in and what do you want? Fries or onion rings? I'm partial to the onion rings myself.
They're good.
Yeah. So, you're not only owner of a business, you're also the steward of an iconic bit of common history. I mean, come on, especially Dream Cruise. Everything. There's an awareness of that in there.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I think of myself, sure, I'm in the restaurant business, right? I understand the restaurant business and everything, but at the end of the day, I've really been in a preservation business. This is a 73-year-old business whose brand is not just built on the food that we serve, but Hunter House's iconic sort of image, like you said, is critical in that. And so when people come in, they want to feel that nostalgia. Everybody,
it's not the Chop House, okay? It's not like,
No.
excuse me, sir, can I sent you? It's
Right.
more like cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what you expect.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted to preserve that nostalgia for people. We get so many stories, and I've got such crazy stories of customers telling me things that happened in there. But stories of the number. Okay, the biggest one that I've ever heard is your burgers were the first solid food that my children ever ate.
Really?
Yes, and families that come through there, generations of people, famous people that have come through from, professional athletes and musicians and politicians who have eaten there and made it sort of a landmark in their own life, and that we know that that's meaningful to people, and that they have great memories from coming there, even if they live out of state. A lot of people, they come in from where they live now, and they say, when I come back home, this is the first place I go, because it's like a door, it's like a gateway back to people's childhood or the life that they had when they lived here. Because, not for everybody, of course, but for the people who do come and are regulars, it certainly was that.
I know my wife's brother lives out in California, and he grew up in this area, and of course, Hunter House is a place to go. It's sort of like the dairyman across the street,
Yep.
and there some years ago, and this great car, I forget what it was, pulls up and out unfolds this very, very tall guy. Was John Sally from the Pistons.
There you go.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just pulling back and forth.
Yeah.
So what's the so we're talking about Hunter House, and we'll get into after the break a little bit more about how you're going to redesign it. But
Sure.
how did the KFC site essentially become available? How did you guys know about that?
It wasn't available, and it wasn't for sale, and I scoured for about 5 years trying to find a solution as a plan B. I scoured all the parcels on Woodward Avenue in Birmingham. And I thought, where could we possibly open? I was looking at the zoning codes, which you know from your time on the city commission there. And we realized that there was really only one place where you could open a restaurant, have sufficient parking per zoning, and for basically what our customer needs were, and be able to have enough space to build out our store again. And it was that site. And I spent about 2.5 years trying to reach the owner of that KFC gym, and I sent letters. I went in the store. I talked, just trying to get his contact information. One day, I was just in a deep search, and I found his name and number scribbled on a piece on a form that he had filled out for the state of Michigan, on a public document.
Get out of here.
And I called the number, thinking this is a 10, 20-year-old form. And sure enough, Jim answered, and we hit it off. I run a restaurant. I know how to fix a deep fryer, lived through COVID, employees, everything. He is the same kind of person. And we hit it off, and we'd chat every few months or so, and slowly convinced him that this was a right move for him and for us. And one day I called him and I said, Jim, it was about 2 years. And I said, Jim, let's do this. We get, can we make this happen? And he goes, you know what? I'm ready. And that was maybe toward the end of last year, and it took a while to hammer out details, but we got there.
And you saved that parcel, and you saved the Hunter House, which is so far, which is great. We're going to take a break here. Chuck Moss, here on Eye on Oakland. We're talking with Kelly Cobb, who is the owner of the iconic Hunter House, on how basically it's been saved and what the future is. Don't go away. We'll be right back here on Eye on Oakland.
Bloomfield Township Senior Services promotes wellness and strengthens the community through social connections, fitness classes, aquatics, day trips, and more. Our staff is here to serve you, offering lifelong learning and interactive opportunities for residents age 50 and above. Invest in your vitality with us. Follow us to learn more and stay up to date. We look forward to meeting you.
Welcome back to Eye on Oakland. I'm Chuck Moss, your host. We're talking with Kelly Cobb, the owner of the Hunter House. I say the iconic Hunter House and the now moved and soon to be rejuvenated Hunter House. So now what? You've moved, you've got a food truck, you've got sort of a temporary thing going.
Yeah.
What next?
Well, next we start rebuilding Hunter House. So the beautiful thing about this plan, and actually it's a kudos to the fact that it's real happenstance that this building is going to work for this. We're going to be walling off the back half of that KFC building, which is now Hunter House, and keep operating our kitchen in that back half. The whole front half of the building, we're going to blow out, and we're going to rebuild the Hunter House inside of there. So the building that you see now with the glass atrium, and the drive-through on the side and everything, the vestibule entrance.
You need spider plants. It's 1970s. I mean,
Right.
they should be, showing, movies with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah,
It just screams blonde wood in 1970s.
Yeah, it does. And so we're going to make it scream 1950s.
Yes. If you're going to, that's a better look. So you're going to actually make it look like it ought to look.
Yeah. So Hunter House is effectively, it was a square white building.
Sure.
Right? And it had some funny angles to it. And so we wanted to reincorporate those angles, and most customers never seen them or noticed them, but Woodward sort of curved. So the building was kind of interestingly shaped.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to blow out the front 3 walls and expand the building just so slightly, and be able to recreate the same exact look inside. We're going to be able to recreate our carry-out walk-in space that's on the side of the building where you can look out at the grill. We'll make that a little bit larger because a lot of people stand out in the cold during the winter for carry-out. We appreciate them, and we want to give them some warmth. So we'll build that out again, and we've got all the same detailing. So the counter, the back stainless counter that's built in there, we're basically going to recreate that entire thing, rebuild that thing from pieces that we have. The countertop that customers sit on, recreating that, rebuilding that in there, and integrating it all into the space. Like I mentioned, the tile floor, the white metallic paneling on the inside walls, and then of course on the outside, those white metallic paneling. It's going to look like we picked up the little Hunter House building and slid it right into the front of that other building.
Excellent.
And so it's basically going to be the same space.
Well, good. And, of course, I'll have to come in. I'll have to either sit outside or stand up because I can never get a seat. Because it's always full of people, which is good.
This is another. Yes, it's great.
That's a great thing.
This is another thing for us. We know this, and we hate having people stand to wait. So we're adding some additional seating. Not much, though, because we struggled with trying to decide if we wanted to have enough seating for what we know we want or what customers want, but also there's something about the Hunter House's charm of being sort of a small, cozy, quainter space where you're belly up at the counter with 5 people that you've never met, and that part of the beauty of Hunter House is the conversations between strangers that take place at that counter is fascinating. And you'll have a business executive in a suit next to a guy who paints, next to a mother with her child, and those people all chat with one another.
Yes, they do.
And so we didn't want to make it like this big restaurant where people are isolated at separate tables. We wanted to keep that sort of cozy feeling that we've always had. So the space is going to be somewhat larger, but I don't really think anyone's going to notice that much, except for the fact that you'll see some extra tables and stuff like that in there.
Well, good. Now, are you going to have a drive-through?
No. So city ordinance says no drive-through. So I think it's, you should know, Chuck. Come on. It's
I should.
Change of ownership or change of use or so, I don't know. But we can't have a drive-through. But it was important to us to have our carry-out window and to mirror the sort of look that we've always had. We're going to have that carry-out space there too. So there's 5 parking spots on the north side of the building there along Lincoln Street. And we'll have customer parking there. And then the carry-out window itself is going to be, adjacent to those parking spots. So people are going to have to get it out, walk into the restaurant to come get their food. But, we've debated a drive-through for a long time, but City of Birmingham, it's a no-go. And being in Birmingham was important to us for the legacy.
I'm glad you decided to stay in Birmingham. It seems all the efforts the city seemed to have made to try to chase you out. And so thank you for sticking with us.
I know. It would have been a lot cheaper to move to Royal Oak, but just not the same, just not the same.
I'm very happy. Well, you could have bought Pasquale's and had your store there in the football field,
Yes.
You end up with the football club could be there.
Yeah.
Right. So now more parking.
More parking. More parking. We had 14 parking spots at our old store, which is almost pathetic for the amount of business we
Well,
did.
14 parking spots, maybe these were like, if they were all like little Toyotas from 1971, yeah.
There were a few spots adjacent.
How many 1956 Chevy Bel Airs do you think you could put in?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly right. I mean, we parking was always a huge problem, but as cars got bigger, the parking lot got smaller. So we're going from 14 parking spots to 32 parking spots, which is awesome.
Yes.
And so there's just plenty of room for people. And the other benefit, and you kind of mentioned this before the break, with the 32 parking spots, you get a lot more parking lot. And Dream Cruise is going to be a huge party for Hunter House. We're very excited about that.
I should hope so. Well, first of all, Dream Cruise. There's no more Dream Cruise week. It used to. It's like Dream Cruise in a couple of days. Now it's basically Dream Cruise starts at the end of May. And they're driving back and forth. And all the car clubs meet at all various things. And someday I got to find out where the Mustang people are. But yeah, so that's good. Now, you do understand that you were iconic. You were where you were. You were definitely, but where you are now, you are in perhaps one of the most visible sites in the city of Birmingham. You're going to be the southern gateway to the city.
Yes, yeah. And so we're keeping that in mind. Not just in the design of the building, the design of the signage, the landscaping, sort of as people come northbound into Birmingham on Woodward. But we're keeping it in mind for Dream Cruise. We're keeping it in mind for how we interact with our customers and how people can engage the city. We want to be that sort of gateway, and I think that
you're going to be whether you want to or not.
Exactly. So we've got to live up to what the reality is.
You
of
and
that
the 555 building, it's
the 555 building is not exactly timeless. I'm hoping to recreate the timeless feel of the Hunter House.
Well, maybe it is timeless of its time, which is I was talking to the guys one of the guys who owned it years ago, and I said, why don't you put up one of those Times Square billboards, electronic billboards?
Yeah.
You could have the most well-known building in the entire metro area.
Yeah.
And he was sort of like, okay, no worries.
Yeah, that facade needs some love, but that's okay. We're going to do it on our site. We're excited about being the gateway.
That's right. So which car club gets to come meet with you all summer?
People just come.
Pontiac Venturas,
Yeah, right. We have so many car clubs that come through and just park and hang out in the lot, and we don't even know who they are, but they just come and they have a plan. Tonight we're going to go to Hunter House.
Yes.
And the Tuesday of Dream Cruise, the Tuesday before, there's a motorcycle club that comes. And there's got to be 50 bikes parked in our parking lot, and they have this huge party in the parking lot. And so that sort of thing happens up and down Woodward all summer, and we're just excited to be a part of that.
Well, good. Now, the menu. Are there going to be any changes in the menu?
Look, we've been doing this thing for 73 years, and I'm not going to break it. No. We use the same meat supplier based in Detroit that we have used basically since the dawn of time. Same ingredients. Our pickles are made in the city. Our bakeries in the city, and our bun delivery guy's been with us for decades. So we don't want to change anything. The fries, no change. The shakes, no change. I have a couple ideas of things that we've had customers reach out and say, hey, would you think about this, or have you added this to the menu? With some new space, maybe we can add some things, but nothing that we would displace from our current menu. It's going to be the same. And it already is, right? We've already moved over. We got the same shipments. They just got redirected the next day, and we're making the same food.
I mean, I know this is a Flint thing, but they do have a place out on by Birch Run. Bill Thomas Halo Burgers have always had their own ketchup.
I didn't know that they did. I had them last year for like the first time. I don't know why I haven't stopped. Every time I'm driving up there.
Because it's a Flint thing.
I think I'm just missing the lunch window when I'm on that drive,
Yeah.
But they're pretty good. I had Halo Burger.
Well, my mother's family and my wife's mother's family is from Flint. We've lived in Flint. We were in Flint back when there still was a Flint. Mm-hmm. And but the Bill Thomas Halo Burgers downtown is still there, and it's still good. And but they have their own ketchup.
I didn't realize
they always
that.
had their own ketchup. I always thought that the cow with the halo, and I always thought that was a little macabre. But what do I know? Well, that's good. So onion rings, and you will be ready for the Dream Cruise.
We'll be ready for the Dream Cruise. We're excited about that. In the past, we had to close our store during Dream Cruise because it became a storage unit effectively for all the dry goods and the products that we had. We didn't have enough space to serve the number of people that come through our lot on Dream Cruise.
Sure.
This time around, because we've got that extra kitchen space in the back, where our building's almost 3 times as large, we're going to be able to store a lot more product, and we're going to be able to have people come inside during cruise, go outside during cruise. We'll have a party in the parking lot, a party inside. It's going to be great.
Yes, and of course you can probably sell Hunter House shirts and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. We could.
Will you have those for sale at the?
Oh yeah, we do, and we actually launched an online store to sell them earlier this year because we come up with some other designs, and we just can't stock all the things.
Okay,
that
so
ask
what's
for.
the address? HunterHouse.com.
HunterHouseHamburgers.com, and you can learn everything about our transition and store.
HunterHouseHamburgers.com. We'll put that on. But if you want to, right now you can pull into the lot and with the food truck and all that.
Yep. Right now, if you go to 33900 Woodward, you'll see our truck outside. Yeah, we've got a heated tent outside. Just walk in that heated tent. It's really nice. When you say tent, it looks a little whatever, but it's warmer than my home. And my mom, who's my business partner, has already put up all the Christmas decorations.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very cute in there. But we'll take your order and we'll serve you food. And
say the food is intense.
That's right.
Puns are awful. Well, congratulations. So, are you looking for a visit from Guy Fieri?
I don't know.
Why are you laughing? I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
You know what? Guy Fieri, so all these diners, drive-ins, dives, they've come to Detroit on occasion. We've never gotten the invite, but we have had our accolades, so we're grateful for what we do had. I mean, Food Network magazine named us #1 burger in Michigan. Paula Deen magazine, top 10 in the country.
Yeah.
Our first review, you'll appreciate this, Chuck, our first review ever was in Car and Driver magazine.
Of course.
Because the auto execs would stop in to Hunter House to and from work all the time.
Yes.
So it just made sense. But we've got some things in the works coming up that could be splashes in the community we're excited about. We'll see if they pan out. But right now we're just happy to have the customer base, the clientele, the community that we do.
Well, we're happy that you're surviving. We're happy that not just surviving, but thriving. You can now break out of this box that you've been sort of locked into and really shine.
Yeah, no more leaky roof,
And no more city trying to evict you from your parking space.
Yeah, that too. That's helpful.
Yeah,
helpful.
City. Well, I'm glad that we do that because the Hunter House is definitely a landmark, and it's going to be even more so. I still think you ought to consider maybe having your own ketchup.
I'll think about that. Here, so you don't know this about me, and I'm not one to share it. I don't like ketchup. It's the only thing I don't eat. I've eaten everything in the world. I'll eat whatever you put in front of me. Ketchup and I just don't get along. But we literally sell thousands of gallons of ketchup a year, so it's not a bad idea, Chuck.
I believe it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Mr. Thomas up in, and it really is a Bill Thomas, or at least there was a few years ago. There really is a Bill Thomas. I don't think he'd be willing to share his recipe. I'd be like Colonel.
No, I'd have to come up with one.
When you took possession of the KFC, somewhere in the back, did you find the maybe like a little secret picture with the secret herbs and spices?
Right.
I mean, it's an old enough building.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't know where to start on making ketchup, but I'll figure it out. I can figure it out.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Kelly Cobb, who's the owner of the Hunter House, which is going to survive and is going to, I will predict, be even more iconic. You're going to be the southern gateway to Birmingham.
Thank you, Chuck.
And
Appreciate
you can even
that.
go in now. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I'm Chuck Moss, and thank you for joining us here on Eye on Oakland.